In today's video, I'm going to answer one of the most common questions about minoxidil, and that is, which minoxidil is better, liquid or foam? Stay tuned. Hey my fellow follicle frontiersmen, it's DJ from Keratin Brotherhood. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, as always, welcome. Keratin Brotherhood is here to help you build confidence in your hair loss through transparency, empathy, and positivity. If you enjoyed today's content, make sure you click that subscribe button and also click the bell to turn on notifications. That way you can be one of the first to be notified whenever I upload new content. Now, I actually did quite a detailed write-up about this question, minoxidil foam versus minoxidil liquid, last year, based on some research studies that I found floating around the internet. It's not all comprehensive and all inclusive, but it gave me enough information to make an educated decision about which formulation is better. Let's remove the brand for the moment. Guys, if it's 5% or 10%, whatever the percentage is on the label, it's the same shit. All liquid minoxidils and all foam minoxidils are essentially going to be the same. So let's talk about the liquid first. So the first pro to using liquid minoxidil is the fact that it's cheap. Liquid minoxidil is really cheap, actually. It's like half of the price of the foam minoxidil, which means that if you're on a budget or you're just more, you're focused on, saving money, that's the best choice for you. So hands down, the cheapest option is to go liquid minoxidil. The second pro that liquid minoxidil has is that it tends to be better at diffusing across the skin barrier than the foam formulation, particularly if you apply it on a damp scalp or damp hair. I didn't say wet hair, I meant damp hair. So you take a shower, you'll towel dry your hair, and in that damp environment, you apply minoxidil, and it gives more time for the actual minoxidil to diffuse across the skin before it can crystallize on the surface of your skin. Now, liquid minoxidil does come with a couple of cons, so let's talk about it now. One of the big cons of using liquid minoxidil is that it just takes fucking forever to dry, dude. You put it on your scalp, and I hope you have at least an hour before you have to go anywhere or style your hair, because it's going to be greasy for at least an hour, maybe longer than that. And that's because liquid minoxidil relies on propylene glycol to diffuse the minoxidil across your skin. Propylene glycol is the ingredient that gives you that greasy residue when you use liquid minoxidil. So if you notice that your skin or your hair is really greasy afterwards, that's what that is. And unfortunately, there's not much you can do about that in terms of getting it to dry faster. I suppose you could blow dry to evaporate some of it off, but I would believe that you're going to lose efficacy because the minoxidil is just going to crystallize if the propylene glycol is not there. Now, the second con to using liquid minoxidil is the fact that it can cause your skin to really scale and peel like you have really bad dandruff. And that's because propylene glycol, it strips away the outer layer of the epidermis. So when you apply the liquid minoxidil, it's like a chemical peel. So for any of you who use liquid minoxidil, you'll know what I'm talking about, because you'll have this kind of scaly, itchy, and flaky skin after using liquid minoxidil for any time over a couple of weeks. It's a persistent, scaly, flaky scalp situation. And unfortunately, there's not much you can do about that. You can apply oils. I've tried lotions to kind of control that flaking, but it's really impossible. It's just part of the process, and it's not harmful in any way. Like I said, it's just the outer layer of the epidermis, and so that is dead skin tissue anyway. If you have shorter hair, sometimes it could look like you have really dry scalp, so keep that in mind. Another con of using liquid minoxidil, especially if you're applying it here on your hairline, is that because it's a liquid, it tends to run down your face if you drip it in too fast. You have a little dropper that you drop the drops onto your head, and if you go too fast, you'll just end up having it run down your face, like you have, activator in your hair from a Jerry curl. It's not gonna make you grow hair on your face if you drip it into your face like every once in a while. Okay, you're not gonna wake up like Wolfman. But it's just it's like a nuisance if you're trying to apply it and it keeps running and you gotta kind of wipe it up, and it's fucking annoying, dude. So it's not necessarily a knock against the formulation, but more so a knock against the quality of life that you have while using liquid minoxidil. Question of the day. What formulation of minoxidil are you using? Are you using liquid or using foam? Also, share your experience with regrowth on minoxidil. How has it been? Have you seen a lot, a little, or maybe nothing at all? Drop it in the comments down below. Now, foam minoxidil on the surface seems like it's the best choice. And that's because this first pro of using foam minoxidil is that it evaporates almost immediately. You put it onto your scalp and you rub it into your scalp, and the foam liquefies at your body temperature. So it liquefies, and then you just kind of rub it in, give it about maybe 1 minute, and it's already dry. Which means that if you're a guy who likes to style your hair, or you have longer hair, or you wear hair fibers, you're good to go just minutes after applying your Rogaine, you can move on with your life. So that's really cool. Like, from a quality of life standpoint, that's fucking amazing. One of the cons of using foam minoxidil is that it is expensive. As I mentioned before, the liquid minoxidil is half the price of foam minoxidil. So foam minoxidil is actually pretty expensive. If you buy a 1 month supply of foam Rogaine, you're looking at spending anywhere from 25 to 30 bucks. That's $1 a day. For some of us, that might be easier than others, but it's kind of it's a big financial, obligation to pay $1 a day, essentially $30 a month for hair growth. However, anecdotally, my own experience, okay, so don't jump in the comments and tell me that I'm full of shit by what I'm about to say. In my experience, I see faster new growth, meaning if the hairs shed, I see faster new growth by using liquid minoxidil. And at first I thought this was just kind of a fluke, like, I'm just imagining it's like placebo, but it's measurable. Like, I've been using minoxidil, guys, for like the past, 3 years now, 4 years almost. And I switch back and forth between the two occasionally, and I also use both concurrently. So I use liquid in the morning and foam in the evening. As of right now, I've only been using liquid for the past month and a half. The thing is, like, the hairs grow faster with liquid minoxidil. I don't know why that is for me, but the foam minoxidil seems to do better at maintaining the hair. And it sounds really weird, and it sounds unsubstantiated, and you're absolutely right, it is. I have no data to prove this. But if I experience a minoxidil shed on foam, I switch back to liquid, I get new regrowth faster on the liquid. Once the new regrowth comes in, I switch to foam exclusively, and I use that to maintain. So which minoxidil is better for you to use? From a quality of life standpoint, like I said, foam is the best. But if you're the type of person who needs to save money, then go with the liquid. At the end of the day, they accomplish the same thing. So I hope this answered the question about which minoxidil is better. My name is DJ from Keratin Brotherhood. I'll see you guys in the next video.